Good afternoon, happy Saturday, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and we are here with Savage Saturday Comic Review number 62, the Hall Art Book Edition. We're just going to go through a couple oddities of Conan, which are awesome that you can see, and some other barbaric finds. But without further ado, we got a big stack to look at here. A lot of these I picked up today. The ones that were already in my PC, I'll let you know what these were. So what we have, and before I get into this, everything that I say I picked up today, I traded for. So these are some rare first print, out of print books that I traded Venom books for, or other comic books for that don't fit my PC, that I'm holding on, that I hold on to, that when something cool comes around that I want, that's out of a price range, I have books to trade that have a little bit of value for these rare out of print first print books that mean something to me. And so let's get into it. This was from one copy of this. All right, I got this in AOK from out of the Panel Comics stand over there, and I was instantly sold on it. Fantasy Features #1. I looked it up. It's a 2-issue book, so of course I got both issues off eBay, and this is something I'm going to keep looking for, because as you can see, they're white covers, so they get dirty pretty easy. I want to try to get a couple near mint copies, maybe even graded #1, even though it's not worth anything. I have a thing about barbaric #1s that I like to have graded. But Great Del Barris covers, and I started reading the first story, and I stopped so I could read it all together. Maybe I'll do a Savage Saturday review on these two books. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. But great art inside, and it looks to be a great story. 2 issues, so why not? Then my LCS had gotten a collection, and it had some Red Sonja books. And some of these I have, some of these I don't. But I didn't really pay anything for them, so I took them. Red Sonja, She-Devil with a Sword, issue 47 from the first run over at Dynamite. This one I didn't have, so I was glad to get my hands on it. That first run is really hard to find and put together, and that's something I really got to work on in the future. Queen Sonja, #2, an absolutely stunning Lucio Perillo cover. Now, Queen Sonja, I'm going to order the trade of, and I'll try to find these issues as we go along. But I did miss the boat on quite a few of the Dynamite Red Sonjas. I was purely a Marvel Red Sonja person for the longest time, and because Dynamite's just really hit or miss with this character. So another incredible Lucio Perillo cover. I think this is my second or third copy of this. Just a beauty though. Birth of the She-Devil. Okay story. So this is from the Mark Russell run. Now this run, the first 24 issues or 25 that Russell did were amazing. And then it ended on a flat note when he left and they let someone else take over the series, and it ended in 3 issues after that. But his writing was spectacular on it and so good. So we got Red Sonja #1, Cho. So just a beauty of a cover. Always got to enjoy a good Cho cover, of course. And then we have Lisner, so issue #3. And issue #4. I may or may not already have this. Some of these I may or may not already have. I read that whole run. I can't remember the ones I bought and didn't buy. If you guys know Dynamite, they put out tons of covers of everything. All right, Red Sonja #5. And beautiful covers. And then a hole in my Conan collection are those 90s Marvel series, right? They had like a bunch of 3-issue series that came out, so I put them together when I can find them for a good deal. So this I got super cheap. We got Conan the Barbarian, Lord of the Spiders, which is basically, this is a 3-issue series, but it's a continuation of a villain that Conan faced all the way back in 1970 or 71 in Conan the Barbarian issue 4. So it's a continuation of that. So issue number 2. Okay, Raphael covers issue number 3. And that was that whole series. So cool stuff. Can't wait to read that, see how it is. Written, of course, by Roy Thomas, so I'm super excited about that one. And then we have this completely 90s Insano cover. Conan the Barbarian, number 1. Not that one. This 90s one. With just super roided out Conan. Number 2, a way better cover on number 2. And number 3, back to kind of a weird cover, but not bad. Number 1 was just the not great one. 2 and 3 were decent. So there we go. And then we get into something hard to find, right? So this is cool. So this is Conan the Barbarian, The Horn of Azoth. And Marvel did their graphic novels. And when they did their graphic novels in the 80s and stuff like that, in the 90s, they did, and especially here in the 90s, they did them in magazine format, which I loved. I wish they would go back to that because I love this format. So we have Conan the Barbarian, The Horn of Azoth. All right, and we got Boris Vallejo's son on this cover, Dorian Vallejo. Beautiful cover. And you guys have probably seen his art a bunch and never realized it because he also did a bunch of Savage Sword of Conan covers. And so really cool. This cover is just absolutely breathtaking. Now, this is significant because this book goes for anywhere from, I believe, $80 to $130. And I got it by trading. So, woohoo! This is the true... so we had the Conan the Barbarian movie, and then we had the sequel. Well, this is the original screenplay by Roy Thomas, and I can't remember the other guy, Jerry Conway, I believe. They wrote the sequel manuscript, and that's when it was at a different company. Then Dino De Laurentiis got his hands on it, bastardized the script a lot, changed it, made it a whole different movie. But this is the script that the Conan sequel was supposed to be. And I just got this today. I've never actually read this, so I'm super excited to read it and see the true vision of what Roy Thomas and Gary Conway had in store for our Barbarian and what should have been the true sequel. So cool stuff. All right, so next, Conan the Barbarian, The Skull of Set, and this is a Paul Gulacy cover. Now, a little odd, but for some reason it works for me. I really like the yellow, and I just like the inks. Again, so these were like, what's this one? This was $5.95, and now you're going to pay at least probably 15 to 20 beans for that. This one you can get for usually $10 to $20, and this is Conan the Reaver and Don Carr story, John Severin art, John Severin cover. Really beautiful. I love the border. And this one I haven't read either, or the Skull of Set. So these were new ones that I've been seeking out a while that my LCS got in. And of course, you know me, I scooped them up to help complete my collection. And word is, this is a fantastic story. And you already know the art's going to be good. John Severin on the inside as well. This one I read today. Cull, The Veil of Shadow. Alan Zelenet's story. Tony DeZanuga art on the inside. But we have a Doug Beekman and Ken Lopez cover. And nice, beautiful blue, cool, moody cover. And a fun little story where Cull's on his deathbed. They think he's going to die. And everyone around the bed that is there to pay their respects for Cull is telling a story that they remember of Cull. Of course, he doesn't succumb. He's Cull. All right, next. Conan the Barbarian, the Witch Queen of Akron. All right, again, Don Carr story, Gary Cope's art. But on the cover, of course, again, we have Doug Beekman. Cool cover, although I think Conan's face is a little off on this one. But still, there's a lot worse out there. And again, I just love these magazine formats. And, you know, I was going to read one of these. I read the Cull one, and I was going to do the Savage Saturday review on one of those. But I just figured, let's do a haul. Let's show all these off. There'll be plenty of time in future Savage Saturdays to review these. But let's just do a fun haul and show these books off. Instead of making, I was going to make 2 videos too, do a haul, then do a review. But let's just do it different. Let's do it all at once. Combined forces. All right. Conan of the Isles. Now this is an adaptation. Again, Doug Beekman cover. This is an adaptation of the Conan of the Isles book, which I've read, by L. Sprock de Camp and Lynn Carter. So that's the adaptation there. And then this is really cool. And I will open this one at the end because this will be the feature of this video. Power cover 96 it says. And this was a company, SQP, which did a series of art books in the 90s. This is Conan the Cruel. And this is just all art on the inside. Not all for the kiddies, so there is a little bit of nudity in here. And then, of course, you had a Tenuta art on the back. But we will take a look at this after. This will be our featured highlight. But for the nonce, we are going to keep going with this. So what I have here are Treasury editions. Now, of these graphic novels, I had Conan of the Isles already and The Witch Queen of Akron. All the other ones I picked up today with trades. So not too bad. All right, now this is Marvel Treasury editions. And these are giant oversized volumes. Okay, and this is Conan the Barbarian Marvel Treasury edition number 4. All of a sudden I can't talk. Yeah, it has a sticker on there I can't get off. But the inside is nice. And then, of course, on the back, you still got that sweet Barry Windsor Smith art, and the full picture of what's cut off on the cover. And the cool thing about these is these are giant size reprints, right? It'll tell you what's inside. In this, we have a history of Conan. We have a Rogues in the House, The Road to Aquilonia, a map, Red Nails, one of the best Conan adaptations ever done by Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith, and Conan Unconquered pinup. So right here, Rogues in the House. You got Conan, you got Jenna there who betrays him a couple times before Conan learns his lesson. And just to see these in oversized format is a lot of fun. It's kind of like looking at the old black and white magazines, which have an oversized format, but even bigger. Again, a lot of fun. And right here, just one of the best story adaptations ever from Robert E. Howard prose to the comic form is Red Nails. And let's see if we can get one of these pinups just for fun to show you guys. Oh, we don't. Let's see. We have In the Memory of Robert E. Howard right here. So nice little piece. But this is the second copy. This one was my original. I got one here without the sticker on the front. There is a sticker on the bag, but that sticker is not going to come off without ripping the bag, so that's staying there. So I absolutely love having 2 of that because it has one of my favorite adaptations of all time. This one is so minty, so fresh, and so good. And this is a reprint of Conan the Barbarian, issues 23 and 24, with Red Sonja, the most savage sword and sorcery hero of all, Conan the Barbarian, Marvel Treasury Edition, number 15, in all its gorgeous glory. Look at that. What a cover. John Buscema cover. Just an absolutely stunning piece of work. And let's see, back. And here is the back art for that. Again, just gorgeous. And you take a look in here. You got the best costume that Red Sonja ever done right there with the full chainmail shirt. Just absolutely beautiful and stunning. Great storytelling, great art, an absolute classic. And I just love this giant book. Now I got to be careful because I'm going to keep this in its near minty goodness. Alright, and some of these I took out of their bags just to be easier to show you. Now this, Conan the Barbarian Marvel Treasury Edition, number 19, and this has some great reprints in it. Iron Shadows in the Moon, which is one of my favorite all-time Robert E. Howard Conan tales. It was first in Savage Sword of Conan #4, and I believe I did a Savage Saturday comic review on that and on the new adaptation, which I like quite a bit as well. We have a portfolio in here, and then we have The People of the Dark. Again, this one was a reprint from Savage Sword of Conan #6. So you had two previous black and white only stories that were reprinted in this Marvel Treasury Edition for the first time in color. There's the back art, absolutely gorgeous. And, I mean, what can you say, man? I know the covers on this are a bit rough, but this stuff is, these stories are beautiful. The inside's immaculate. And then we have our final Treasury Edition, and that's issue number 23. And again, John Buscema cover again, and we have A Witch Shall Be Born, and The Wanderings of Conan and Billet, which shows a map of them. A cornucopia of Conan, which is full-page masterpieces of art, and The Sword and the Sorcerer. First time in magazine format. The first newspaper comic strip of Conan the Barbarian. So we'll take a little look at that. So A Witch Shall Be Born is a classic cover. Again, that was a reprint. And for those of you who know you've heard that story before, that is the famous, I think it was Savage Sword of Conan #5. It was either 5, 3, it was in the first 5. I can't remember now, it could be 4. But with Conan on the tree with the vultures at him. So one of the most famous Conan covers. And of course I'm blanking on it right now. But let's take a look in the back. We have some good stuff. So right here you just have some artist portfolios of Conan. And again, you got them almost in a poster-sized format, so it's absolutely beautiful to look at. But, so that's the haul. And I did promise you a look inside this art book. And again, this art is hit or miss. And it is adult in theme, so don't let the kiddies watch. I will open up some of this, and we will take a look. So this was a $9.95 book in 1996. Now you're going to pay $65 minimum for this. And so then you got just cool art pieces like this inside. And right here, Darren Goodake. And I like how they put the artist's name on the bottom if you can't read the signature. It's all right there. And the reason I'm not taking pictures and showing is because this spine, I don't want to open it all the way up and bend it. It would just break my heart if this spine was in any way damaged. So hopefully you guys can get a good look. But just some again, hit or miss pieces of art. Here's a couple hits. These are both good. And there are a couple here which are a little bit cringeworthy, especially some that are kind of like a young Conan, which they didn't really capture it well, and others where the perspectives are a bit off. Here's a couple other really good ones. Just really beautiful. But yeah, I wanted to take this, I mean, we're 62 episodes into Savage Saturday, and I just wanted to kind of have a discussion about these oversized formats. They just add something different to the collecting, something new. All right, here we got Josh Torres and Jose Casanovas, a couple pieces from them, which are nice. And this is just a cool art book to take out and read. And they had quite a few art books back then. Let's see if I can get a fun little one that I thought was in there. Here we go. I think this one's a miss. This doesn't look like Conan at all. It's some roided out person that's on some kind of drug and grueling. So, I thought that one was really rough. Definitely not the best. And there was one here which the character didn't look like Conan at all. It actually looked like Brule the Spear Slayer. So I don't know what Conan they were looking at. There's a good one with Conan and Red Sonja. Wow. And on the other page, all right, this one's funny. Because this looks like Jeff Goldblum Conan right here. That is not my Conan, but it's funny to look at. And then, of course, I just want to find that one which I don't think looked like him at all. Oh, here we go. So we got a good one on the right here, and this other one is obviously it's not Conan. It's Barbarian art in a Conan magazine, but that looks more like Cull's buddy Brule the Spear Slayer than it does Conan the Barbarian. And again, in the back, they had an advertisement, and they had all these other art books out at the same time. So really cool. I may have to look some of them up, see if I can find them. Some of them look like they're a lot of fun. But that's a little bit of the art from that art book, Conan the Cruel. I'd only ever seen it in person this one time, so I couldn't pass it up. Hurried up, grabbed some books to trade, got it in the PC, as well as some of these other ones. If we want to talk about hits, the biggest hit out of this haul that I traded stuff for was, of course, Conan the Horn of Azeroth, which is the true script sequel to Conan the Barbarian from the 1982 movie, written by Gary Conway and Roy Thomas. So if you guys ever wondered what Conan the Barbarian sequel movie should have been, this is it. But again, you're going to pay $80 to $130 for this, especially in mint condition like this one is. But that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed Savage Saturday, and until next time, keep it casual.